Hello everybody, today we're going to start with our next card, and it's kind of become like a watercolor series, but I just got these new Ken Oliver color burst in and I've been dying to play with these. So we're going to start off with the Tim Holtz stamp set here. These flowers, you see me, I've tried to use them before and wound up doing a card with butterflies on it, but I decided this time I wanted to try it. I'm going to go through the end using this flower stamp. So the first thing I do is I'm taking this EK Success powder tool and I'm putting powder all over my watercolor paper. And like I've said before, with watercolor paper, especially when it's textured, I do it twice just to make sure the powder gets in the grooves. And we're just going to ink it up with some Versamark. And I'm going to place my first flower. And then ink it up again. And when you're putting the Versamark ink, because it is clear, if you just tilt it a little bit in your light, you'll be able to see the shine on the stamp to see if it's got good coverage. And before I did my other two stamps that I want to do, I put the clear embossing embossing powder on my stamp, just so that way I have some type of an outline showing me where those two stamps, the first two, were. And I'm just off screen just kind of blowing some of the powder away, because I don't know if you saw it, I didn't put any of the EK Success powder on the blue tape that I have down, and a lot of it was sticking to that. So now I'm just inking up my sentiment, which is happy birthday. And I got this from a Stampin' Up set. I want to say it's Sassy Salutations. Yeah. I don't even know if Stampin' Up still carries this line, but if they do, I would get it because I love this happy birthday. I love the font that they used on it. So I stamped it in Versamark Black Onyx and then put the clear embossing powder on top of it. And then I had enough room for one more flower, and I wanted it to go close to where the happy birthday was. And then after I stamp that, cover it with the embossing powder, and then we'll get to heating this all up. And you can see it right there on the blue. See all that embossing powder? And you can, you know, try and wipe it off. If it's staticky, it's just best to just kind of puff it with some air and keep it moving, because you could be there all day trying to get that embossing powder off. So now I'm just reaching for my heating tool. Get it warmed up some, and then I'm just going to place it. I start with the happy birthday, heat that up, and as you go, like as you move along and you're doing the flowers, because it's in the white or the clear embossing powder, when it's heated up it goes shiny. That's how you can tell that the embossing powder has melted. So you just don't want to overheat it too much, because you can wind up, you know, burning the paper if you're too close to it and on the spot for too long, and you can also burn the embossing powder or overheat it. So once everything was heated, I just let it cool for a little bit, and then you're gonna see me kind of just pat it just to make sure everything was dry. And there were two specks that wind up landing on my sentiment, and I was trying to see if I could get it off, but I think it just got melted into the embossing powder. So we're just going to move on. Here is the color burst from Ken Oliver, and I'm going to use two colors, which I'm just going to get out of the box here, which I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to store these, because I want them to be easy access, and being in that box is not fun. Alright, so the two colors we're going to use, as we zoom in closer here, we're going to use the crimson and the lemon yellow. And I was trying to just slightly tap it, and it didn't look like anything was coming out, so I just squeezed a little bit, and just a little bit of air came out, and I could see some of the powder on the actual sheet. So I did the same thing with the yellow, and you're gonna see it does not take a lot of powder for this stuff to react. I just got my Ranger Mister with plain water, and you can see I'm spraying from off the side, trying to make sure I hit all the sections. And I like when you can get it wet and move it around some. And you can see I'm just wetting it up, trying to get some of the powders. There wasn't a whole lot of yellow, so I went back and sprayed some more. And then you're going to see me hit it with the water. And it's really going to be moving now. And then towards the end, I spritzed a little bit of the red. And then I want to say I picked it up again. And you're going to see I kind of bang it on my table, because I loved how the water was moving and dripping. But instead of it going sideways, I really wanted it to streak downwards. And I'll be right back. I'm gonna go heat it and dry it, which I did right there. So this is what it looks like dried. And there was a little bit of that smudge. It's actually from the yellow, from the spray, because it was trying to like blend. But I decided I wasn't going to worry about it. I'm going to cover it with some sequins anyway, and it's still going to look okay. So to put this down on the card front, I'm just laying down some 3M Scotch foam. And you want to do this pretty much with any watercolor, especially when you're doing an all over wet technique like we did with the powder, because whenever, even with watercolor, it tends to warp a little bit, especially when we're trying to quick dry it, you know, for video purposes. The taping helped keep it down, but still it's better for it to just lay right. And with this being, I'm using the Tim Holtz watercolor paper. It's already pre-cut to an A2 size card, so it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So I just lined it up on the table and pressed it together. So I didn't trim it down or anything. I just left it the exact size. And right now I'm looking for my pick it up tool. So that way we can get to laying down the sequins with our multi-medium mat. I'm telling you, I'm really loving sequins right now. I don't know what it is, but almost when I first started with the sequins, it felt weird. It was like, well, these don't look right. There's holes in the center of them. You know, how are these supposed to look finished? And now I don't even care. I just put it down, and as soon as you lift up the card and the light starts hitting it, love it. I just love it. I love the clear ones, and I really think whenever you're getting your sequins, you should definitely get different sizes, because it just adds a visual interest to the card. And I say put on as many as you like. I know there's the rule with the odd number, but I say, hey, if you put on 6 and the 6 look good, then keep it moving. Do what, you know, makes you feel right. And there you have it. There's our card. Very excited about this one. I can't wait to play some more. Alright, you guys, thank you so much for joining me today. Please make sure you hit the like and subscribe button, and please share with your social media. Let people know about me. I'm still growing as far as my YouTube channel, but I really am having a great time doing these videos. So make sure you check us out on our Friday video. We'll be using some more Ken Oliver, and you guys have a great day.